maybe 2020. I just run, see what happens. Still maybe try and run fast in some events. Other events, just go and have a good time, have fun. And if you watch through to more of this video, I'm going to outline my next 6 months. So early Sunday morning, about 4:30, I'm about to head off for my first group run for, I don't know how long. I can't really remember the last time I did a run with a group of people. The group's got a planned session that they're doing. They're doing a longer warm-up. I'll join them for that and see what happens. I'll probably just go off and do my own stuff and join up with them later on to do their cool down. Hoping to get about 30k done today to give me 50k for the weekend. Just did the 10k warm up with those guys. Got the fastest 10k I've done for a long time. Now chugging along at about 4:40 a k pace. They're off doing some 5k reps. I'm just going to chug along and let them go. It took me a little while to lock into that pace on Sunday, and I didn't look at the heart rate once at all throughout any of that session. I was really expecting the heart rate to be a little bit more elevated than it was now. I know it gave me an average of 132, but you know, there was about 20 minutes of breaks in there, so that probably just skewed that result a little bit. And I did feel by the end of Sunday's run I was starting to get pretty tired, and I think that's understandable given that I have been using the MAF for 4 months and haven't been running at that sort of pace. Having a closer look at the splits, my heart rate was pretty good. It peaked out at 141. You know, the majority of it was in the mid 130s, and I'm pretty happy with that. The body coped pretty well. I did do a sort of a mini tempo last week over 3k, about 4 minutes 25 pace per kilometre. That's all positive for moving forward. So I'm filming outside today. A little bit of breeze, so hopefully it's not coming through the microphone. So I said in this week's video I would discuss my plans going forward, and I've spent a lot of time over the past week in regards to whether I would have a crack at chasing the sub 3 hour marathon again. I kept coming back to one thing, and that was that how my body would react to the increased intensity in preparing for a marathon. That was really the overlying factor that brought me to my decision that I wouldn't concentrate on chasing a sub 3 hour marathon in 2020, even though at the end of last year that was one of my main goals for this year. You know, I'd love nothing more than to chase another sub 3 hour marathon, but I really just don't think my body's capable of handling the increased training that I would need to do. And what I mean by that is the increased speed work. You know, I've got dodgy knees, I've got to look after them. Now that doesn't mean that I don't want to run a fast marathon this year. I will have a crack at a marathon. I'm pretty comfortable with that decision. Just don't think the body is capable of absorbing the higher intensity work anymore. I think that I'd much prefer to play it safe and remain injury free rather than trying to push too far and ending up injured again. I've had 2 years of on and off running because of injury. I'm just not prepared to take the chance to risk injury again. So with that in mind, I'm looking at different challenges. I have picked out 2 marathons which I will attempt to run as quick as I can, and they are the Gold Coast Marathon in July and the Melbourne Marathon in October. But on top of that, I am going to challenge myself to do a 100 kilometre ultra marathon. It's the Gold Coast 100 in June. I look at tackling a 100 kilometre ultra as a new experience. So the plan is that 100k ultra, June 7, giving me 4 weeks between the Gold Coast 100 and the Gold Coast Marathon. There is some method in my madness in running those two events so close together. In 2017 I did a 60 kilometre ultra charity run, and 4 weeks later ran 2:56 at the Melbourne Marathon. It worked all right last time, so maybe I can replicate it again. But 100 kilometres presents a whole range of new challenges. What that training will look like, I really don't know at this stage, but I'm already thinking about double run days. I'm on the trails, running hills, getting stronger. Last weekend I ran 50 kilometres over the weekend, split into Saturday and Sunday. So this week the plan will be to probably do 55k over the weekend, maybe the following week 60k. Now I'll fluctuate up and down and just build that weekend mileage up to, I really don't know at this stage, might be 75, 80 kilometres for the weekend. It'll be trial and error, it'll be how the body adapts to that. I will try to include some tempo runs. I'm not going to do any speed work, interval work. It was after running Tarawera a couple of weeks ago that planted the seed to just try some different things, and the Gold Coast 100 fits into that. Now it's a 16 lap of a 6 kilometre course, and I think that's another reason why it's a good one to tackle first up. You can have your hydration, your nutrition all in one area. It'll be a mental challenge doing so many loops, but I'm up for the challenge, and you may think that by doing more kilometres or more mileage each week would be just as detrimental to the knees as what it is to speed work. Well, I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm hoping that the less force that I'm placing on the body by going slower will alleviate that. If you've got any tips for a newbie 100k ultra runner, please hit me up in the comments down below. Yeah, we'll see how this journey goes. It's going to be really good to document the journey till race day on June 7. How we go at 100k. It's a decent old challenge. First trail run since Tarawera 2 weeks ago. I'm going to keep doing a trail run probably every week to 10 days. Just instead of doing hill repeats on the roads, trails are just so much more kinder on the legs. You're just working so many different muscles and ligaments in the legs and the ankles and the feet. Rather than just running straight up and straight down on a hill, you're zigzagging and watching exactly where your footing's going on the trail. Great for strengthening the legs. And they don't need to be too long. I spent an hour out here today. Probably won't do much more than that really each time I do come out onto the trails. Maybe an hour, 90 minutes, something like that. But just a really good workout. Plus it's great to get out into nature and just enjoy the bush, enjoy the trail. It's about 10 o'clock Wednesday morning, pretty warm, really struggling to keep the heart rate under the 132 MAF. Out a bit later this morning because we went to the Alice Cooper concert last night, so that was a late night. Just out for an easy 10k at MAF. We'll just play to the heart rate. A little bit breezy down here this morning, so I hope there's not too much wind noise coming through the microphone. So the heat really plays havoc with my heart rate. I'm sitting at about 133 now. Feels comfortable, but obviously the heart's working a little bit higher, trying to keep the body cool. If you're using heart rate based training, let me know in the comments down below what affects your heart rate. Is it the hot weather? Is it something else? And not only is it a bit warmer this morning, but the late night as well all contributes to a higher heart rate. Talking to the camera, 135, so just got to back it off a little bit, let that heart rate come back down. So the pace feels comfortable, but the heart rate is just not playing at the moment, so that's all good. time that I got serious about maintenance, stretching, foam rolling. As you get older, it's the little things that you've got to do to keep you running. And I've been doing nowhere near enough maintenance, nowhere near enough foam rolling. That has to change. I'm just starting to feel my ITB in my left leg. I think it's just starting to get a little bit angry and just starting to develop a little bit of knee pain in that left knee. I think I've got to get on that foam roller, get stretching, because if I don't, I can see some trouble ahead. Let me know in the comments down below how you go about combating some tightness in the legs. Do you use foam roller, stretching? Do you do yoga or Pilates or something else? I know it can be difficult to fit the maintenance side of things in with a busy lifestyle, work, family, other things going on in your life. Now the maintenance side of things just gets pushed to the side, but especially for the older runners, you need to be doing something to prolong your running. I need to dig in and do more maintenance. If I'm going to do what I'd like to do this year, maintenance needs to take on a much more important role. Oh, and just one more thing. Welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. Thanks for jumping on board and following my journey to what now is a 100-kilometre ultra in a little bit over 4 months' time. And also to everyone who's been commenting on the videos. I try to answer all the comments. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, also the like button. And if you want to be notified of any future videos, hit that notification button. So next week we might delve a little bit deeper into putting together a training plan for this 100k ultra in June. So until then, hooroo.